biggest pay-per-view events in television history. That's beyond boxing, the biggest, and the 3 most lucrative, in fact. Now we're working in tandem with Tank Davis and his team, and to see him grow and mature on this platform as well. We're excited to be part of the Team Tank. Tank's going to headline his 3rd Showtime pay-per-view event on Sunday night. He's already sold out arenas from coast to coast, and now he enters the Staples Center, looking to make his mark on one of the grandest and most renowned arenas in the world. In Cruz, we have an aggressive, come-forward fighter. He's got one-punch KO power. He's a virtual mirror image of what Tank Davis brings in the ring. And he is a 3rd-generation boxer. Cruz has been around the sport his entire life. So there's plenty of expertise and experience in his corner on Sunday night. We also have a high-quality undercard on tap, competitive matchups with top guys in each division, including 2 top 10 ranked fighters in Sebastian Fundora and Carlos Adames. But more on those guys tomorrow. Thank you to the fighters. Thank you to all the fighters on this card, as well as those that have fought with us all year, for the sacrifices they've made so that they can be ready on Fight Night. And a thank you to boxing fans and viewers from around the world for coming on a wild ride in 2021. So far this year, we have televised 19 live boxing events on Showtime, from ShowBox to significant world title fights, 1 undisputed world championship event, 3 pay-per-view events, and there are still 3 more to come this year. This is going to be our most prolific year in history in televising this sport. We're currently, as Brian referenced, on a run of 8 live boxing events across 9 weeks to close out this year. And we have no less than 4 International Boxing Hall of Famers on our broadcast team, surrounded by the most experienced supporting cast in boxing. Showtime is the most trusted and longest tenured network in this sport, and it's not even close. So thank you to our leadership. Thank you to Stephen Espinoza, our executive producer, David Dinkins Jr., our production staff headed by Gordon Hall, our marketing and PR and digital teams, some of whom have been with us presenting this sport for 35 years. Not unlike the fighters, this team at Showtime puts their all in every week so that we can present the sport with the reverence and the integrity that it deserves. So, a season of Thanksgiving. Yes, there'll be seasons being passed out on Sunday, but for now it's right to give thanks to those that make this sport, this wild and thrilling sport, the best that it can be. Thank you.
So one of boxing's best friends, we call him DeBlas. Thank you, DeBlas. Let me bring up, or at least acknowledge, a couple other guys who are boxing's best friend. First of all, he's the president of TGB Promotions. I know he's in the California Hall of Fame. He should be in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. One of the best matchmakers ever to do it. He's the GOAT when it comes to matchmaking. Tom Brown, I know, is here. I want to acknowledge him. Also, Cruz manager. Here to my left, to your right, his manager. He's also, the manager of Manny Pacquiao Promotions, Mr. Sean Gibbons, as well. Being here, Sean. Let me bring up a guy, man. When you talk about promoting, obviously one of the best. He's the CEO of Mayweather Promotions. The man is always impeccably dressed. We were in Brooklyn, they would say Coochie down to the socks with rocks. He's none other than Leonard Ellerby.
Thank you. I'll be brief. Sunday night, nothing but fireworks. Cruz, again, can't give him nothing but credit. Coming into this fight, he's mentally prepared. Me and Sean had this conversation, it was probably about a little over a year ago. We had kind of had our eye on him, and coming off of the explosive performance in San Antonio, I knew that he was on our radar and that he was eventually going to be a guy that Tank had to face. And obviously when Rolly fell out, he was already on the card. So he was not some guy who was a short notice opponent. He was preparing for Tank, and this is a fight that he's wanted for quite some time. And we all witnessed this last week. We seen what happens when you're a top fighter and you don't prepare and you take your opponent not very seriously. But in Tank's case, he don't do that. He takes everything seriously. He knows that coming into this fight, Isak is more than prepared. He's coming to attempt to knock him off of his throne. But again, like I said, Gervonta has had an excellent camp. He's done everything what his coaches have asked of him. I'm more than impressed with his whole maturation, he's coming into his own with just not only boxing in the ring, but outside the ring. And I think that with those things combined, that we're going to see the best of Gervonta Davis coming this Sunday night. Tune in. You don't want to miss it.
Thank you, Leonard. All right, let's hear from some of the major participants with these fighters. Let's start with Isak Cruz. His father, his trainer, he is Isak Cruz Sr. If you would, sir, just give us a word here. Talk to us about how camp has gone and your thoughts on what we should expect on Sunday. Martin Bader will do the translation.
Bueno, señor Cruz, un gusto tenerlo aquí. Cuéntenos un poco sobre cómo fue el entrenamiento, sus sensaciones previas a la pelea.
Pues fue un entrenamiento bastante largo, acorde a esa pelea. Viene ya al 100% para este campeonato.
It has been a long training camp, but we have been up to the challenge. This fight is going to be great, and hopefully Isaac will be the one ending up on top with the championship belt.
All right, thank you. And a few words, love it. All right, we're right to the point. Let's go over to the Tank Davis side of it. Want to hear from one of Tank's co-trainers. This guy, let me tell you something. Besides being one of the best trainers in boxing, he is one of the best human beings on the planet. Love him dearly, Mr. Barry Hunter. By the way, Headbanger Gym, one of the world renowned across the country, one of the best gyms around, Mr. Barry Hunter.
Thank you, Brian. Brian was my mentor when I first put the microphone in my hand and do some commentating, so I appreciate your help, brother. And just happy to be here. Like Brian said, it's been a long training camp. Yeah, and I didn't realize how long it was till Tank brought it up the other day. I'm just happy to be back with this mob here. This is original mob. This is original mob with Patrice Harris sitting right there in the audience. Tank, and I don't have to tell you guys, is an amazing fighter. Very explosive, very skilled, and he brings a lot to the table as pertains to the sport. So I'm just looking for a great fight, fan-friendly fight. We got all the confidence in the world in him, his abilities, and what we've done with him, and his preparation. So looking forward to it. I want to thank Mr. Cruz, his dad, and his team for even accepting the challenge. It was short, it was last minute, and he stepped up to the plate. And frankly put, we've been in that position before also. So I know this man is hungry, I know he's prepared, and I know he want to taste that world title, just not now. So look forward to seeing you guys Sunday. Oh, I want to thank Leonard Ellerby, one of my homies from DC, Floyd Mayweather, for all he's done for boxing. I meant to tell him that the last time I saw him. He did an incredible job for boxing, bringing revenue to the game, putting a spotlight on the game. And a lot of times, you know, this man been criticized time and time again, but not given enough credit for what he's done for boxing and the history of boxing. So I just want to take time out to thank him, Al Haney, Showtime, Stephen Espinoza, Chris, all you guys. Thank you, and we'll see you Sunday.
And now let's hear from the main trainer for Gervonta Davis. One of Baltimore's best. Just go to the community, see what he's done for the inner city of Baltimore, and some of the men and young men that he's helped save. He's had Tank since he was a kid. He's Mr. Calvin Ford.
Thank you. Another time, another prime time right there. Cruz, very aggressive. This is a fight you don't want to miss. This is a fight that I'm looking for that fighter to bring the best out of Gervonta Tank Davis. Is he the one? What I seen from All Access that night when he did his talking, he's on a mission. He's definitely on a mission. And we ain't sleeping on him. So this fight, y'all want to tune in for this fight. This is the one. Thank you.
Let's get to the fighters. We'll start with the pit bull, Isaac Cruz. 25 fights, 22, 1-1. 15 of those victories have come by knockout. Again, he has won 11 straight fights. He is Isaac Cruz.
Isaac, bueno, primeras declaraciones, tu marca a la por sí sola, 22-1-1, ganaste 11 al hilo. ¿Qué sensaciones tenés de cara a esta pelea?
Es una motivación, el cual le agradezco a Gervonta Davis la oportunidad, a su equipo de trabajo, a Showtime, a mi empresa Manny Pacquiao, a San Diego, por esa gran oportunidad y vengo a dejarlo todo.
I'm absolutely motivated. I have come here to give my all. I want to thank Gervonta for giving me this opportunity, as well as Showtime, Manny Pacquiao Promotions, and my promoter Sean Givens as well. And we are going to be absolutely ready to give our all on Sunday night. Go ahead, Castillo.
Thank you, Isaac. And now the champion, unbeaten. He's knocked out 16 straight fighters. 3-division world champion. He's known as Tank, Gervonta Davis.
I'm not really here to say much. I just want to say thank you to everybody that came out today. Thank you to Showtime, Al Haney and his team, Mayweather Promotions, my personal team. Another big night. It's my first time fighting on Sunday, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. So I'm definitely ready to put on a great performance. So see y'all Sunday.
Gentlemen, let's talk about the fight. Tank, I'll start with you. It's probably the first time in a long time you fight a guy who is shorter than you are. What challenges does that present, considering not only is he shorter, but he's coming with aggression and he's coming with some power?
I think fighting shorter guys is a little tougher than, suppose fighting guys that's taller, because you gotta punch down. You gotta see where they at. So I'm definitely coming with my top game and things like that. So we'll just see Sunday.
Isaac, tell the people why you're the man that will finally dethrone Tank Davis and give him his first defeat.
A ver, Gervonta, contar a la gente por qué vas a destronar a Gervonta Davis y quitarle el invicto para ser el nuevo campeón.
Porque tengo un sueño de pequeño y ese sueño es ser campeón del mundo, para darle un nuevo campeón también a México y sobre todo el hambre y la motivación que tengo para sacar adelante a mi esposa y a mi hijo.
I'm hungry and more motivated than ever to give a great future to my wife and my kid. This is my dream since I was a little kid myself. So I am here to make that dream come true, and I'm gonna give my all to make it happen.
Tank, fighting a guy who's hungry, but you also fighting a guy who, told the boxing public, quote, Tank Davis has never fought anyone with the aggression and the power I bring. What's your response to that?
We just gotta wait and see. I can't really say too much. I can't say what I'm gonna do to him or anything like that till I get in the ring with him. So we just gotta wait and see what he brings that night, and then it's different when people get hit in the face.
Isaac, you've certainly knocked out a lot of opponents It seems as when you have faced boxers, they've given you some problems and your fights have gone the distance. What if Tank Davis comes out and boxes you? Will that be an issue?
Bueno, vos tenés una posición de ser noqueador, pero si la pelea se prolonga, eso tiende a darte problemas. Si Gervonta llega a pelear contra vos en una pelea extensa, ¿crees que eso va a ser un inconveniente para vos?
No, de ninguna manera, porque por eso me preparé y dejé todo en el campamento para llegar a dar un buen espectáculo.
Absolutely not. My training camp has been all about endurance, and I am fully prepared to give a great show for the fans and everybody tuning in on TV as well on Sunday night.
Lastly, Isak, you know, you had said earlier that Tank has never fought anyone with your kind of power, aggression. You know, his response is that people say that all the time until they get hit by a Tank punch, and then things are different. Why will they be different on Sunday?
Bueno, vos querés ser agresivo, vos querés salir a encarar a Gervonta, porque Gervonta dice, sí, todos dicen eso, hasta que Tank los atropella y ahí es todo distinto. ¿Por qué vos vas a ser distinto y le vas a causar problemas a él?
Pues porque como ya lo mencioné, no ha enfrentado igual a un peleador con mis características, con el hambre que le tengo de ser campeón del mundo.
Well, it's simple. I have said it before, and I'll say it again. He has never faced anybody that fights like me before, and my hunger, my will to win is unparalleled, and he's gonna feel it on Sunday night.
Tank, you'll respond.
We'll see Sunday.
We'll wrap it up with this, guys. Isak, for the people watching, who are going to pay their hard money for pay-per-view to watch you fight, people paying hard money to come to the Staples Center here in Los Angeles to come see you in person, what can you guarantee them on Sunday, December 5th?
La gente paga mucho dinero para comprar pay-per-view, para venir a verte acá al Staples Center a pelear. ¿Qué es lo que les puede garantizar a ellos que les vas a dar este domingo por la noche para que esa inversión valga la pena?
Una gran pelea, que la gente que lo vea en el Staples Center o en la tele esté más que emocionada y yo vengo a dar una gran pelea.
I guarantee a great fight. I guarantee excitement. I want them to be excited regardless of whether they tune in on pay-per-view or they're here at the Staples Center. What I want to do is put on a great show so they can go home happy.
Same question, champ. For the people paying their hard-earned money for this pay-per-view, coming out to Staples Center, they want to see a show. What can you guarantee?
Just a big event, you know, exciting fight, you know, it's a Cruz coming forward, you know, and I'm coming forward, so, you know, when you get that type of fighters, you know, you get I want to say big crash, so see y'all Sunday.
I know there's members of the media who've got some questions, so let's get right to them. Steve Pratt, LA setback.
I have a question both for Tank and Isaac. How do you rank your opponent among the top 5 135 pounders?
Who first? Me? I see he's top 10. I think he's top 10.
Ok, Isaac, la pregunta era, ¿cómo rankearías a Gervonta entre los top 5 de tu división? Gervonta acaba de decir que no te considera top 5, que te considera top 10. Bueno, tu respuesta y en dónde estaría Gervonta en tu opinión.
Bueno, es un peleador duro, lo considero el más fuerte creo que de la división, pero no es imposible de derrotarlo.
¿Y sobre que vos no sos top 5, que sos top 10? No? Okay, so basically, Gervonta, to me, he's a very strong fighter. I consider him the best in the division, but he's human and he's not impossible to beat. My goal will be to bring him down a notch and show that I can be legit as well.
Marcus Hayes, Fight Hub TV. One question for each fighter. Isak, I'll start with you. What was the emotion when you found out that Rolly had been pulled from the fight and that you were the one that was stepping in? What was going through your mind when you found out about that?
Isaac, ¿qué te pasaba por la cabeza? ¿Cuáles fueron tus sensaciones cuando te enteraste que Rolly Romero ya no iba a pelear contra Gervonta y que había llegado tu momento para buscar la gloria?
Pues fueron sentimientos encontrados, sabíamos que habíamos estado trabajando durante mucho tiempo por esta oportunidad y bueno, ya una vez que nos concretaron, pues no la vamos a desaprovechar.
It was sort of mixed feelings, a lot of emotions coming in all at once. But once we realized that this was the opportunity of a lifetime and that we had to get ready to take advantage of it, that's all we did. And now we are here, ready to take it head on.
Next question is for Tank. Tank, how disappointed were you in losing the opponent, Rolly Romero, and how much did it change things in camp?
Like I said before, this is part of boxing. I just gotta adapt to, whoever in that square circle come, fight night. So, I wasn't, disappointed, but, just had to change, a little things in training camp. But for the most part, it is what it is. We'll get the job done, no matter who it is.
Tank, we've seen you here in Carson getting a first round knockout before against Ruiz. We saw what you did against Leo Santa Cruz, how you really kind of like built up the drama before finishing him. Can you describe the art of the knockout? How do you know when this is the moment that you're going to pursue it?
When you're in there, if not, you find out, you got a guy hurt, but your coaches know. If you got, good coaches there, let you know. Sometimes you don't even know, and then your coach is like, it's time to, pick it up. So I believe in my team for sure. My two coaches, Byron and, Calvin, Boogie, Kenny and Russ. I believe in them to the fullest. So I think if all of us put our mind together, we'll come out on top at the end of this sport.
I saw you
at the end of this run.
I saw you kind of sizing him up here on stage, but does the true sizing up of your opponent happen only in the ring? Is that when you really know what you can accomplish with him?
No, everything play a part. Even when it's facing off, I'm looking to see, his height, his reach, and things like that, so I make sure I pay attention to everything, so come fight now, I'll be fully prepared.
Some of the interest that's going to be on this fight is going to be betting interest, where people obviously know that you're a knockout artist. What would be a good round that you would say, this is the zone where you should bet that I'm going to finish him by here?
I can't say that, because that's overlooking him. So, I definitely don't want to do, what other fighters did. It's gonna be a tough fight. I'm ready to go 12 rounds, so I'm excited for Sunday, and once again thank everybody that played a part of this event, and see y'all Sunday.
Stephen Cordeiro, KOR Sports. Gervonta, Isaac says that you've never faced anyone with the aggression that he has. But is that almost something that you welcome? You welcome an aggressive fighter? Is that something you kind of maybe get a little more excited for, the fact that you don't have to look around for him, he's going to be right there?
We shall see. We can't. He said, I never faced someone like him, but he never faced nobody like me either. So it's all different, once again, when you get hit in the face, So he can say what he wants right now. It's a build-up for the fight.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Tank, Miguel Maravilla with Fight News. What makes Isaac Cruz different than some of the last two opponents you faced?
I think, to be honest, right now, I feel as though just him being the underdog, just like I feel like, cause I know I was in that position before, so him just being the underdog like that, I know that he's coming, he's coming fully prepared and strong. So I I remember when, my back was against the wall and things like that, damn near, if you ain't giving your all with me, then, I'm giving my all to you. So it's out of door down right now. So I know that he's coming with it, not only for himself, but for his family.
Folks, that's the reason why you got to tune in. Gervonta Davis, Isak Cruz, two heavy hitters. You heard from the CEO of Mayweather Promotions. And of course, the man who created Mayweather Promotions was pound for pound one of the best fighters to ever do it. Box office, the fight game's biggest draw, Hall of Famer, Floyd Money Mayweather. If you would, come on up, give us a few words about this fight.
Another big fight. Two great competitors going out there to show the world what they got. Tank has been on the big stage for a while now, but we all have to give somebody else an opportunity. Before I became TBE, somebody had to give me an opportunity. So what Tank is doing is giving another tough competitor an opportunity. He's tough. And when this fight first was made, I didn't know much about this fighter. Then I had a chance to do my homework and look him up. And I've faced guys like this before, and this is a guy that we can't overlook. You never overlook any opponent. We can't base everything just off power. Tank has unbelievable boxing skills. He has the will to win, and I see the same in this young guy right here also. So Sunday, which is going to be an explosive night, very explosive night. I want everybody to tune in because it's all about the best fighting the best. And right now in boxing, just around that super featherweight, lightweight, 140 pound divisions are the best divisions. I know a lot of people say welterweight, the division that I was at. But me, myself, I'm gonna come on record and say around the lightweight division is the strongest division. They got some hell of a welterweights out there, but it's just my opinion. And a lot of times we talk about trainers. We always talk about this trainer, that trainer. When it comes down to it, us fighters know what we have to do because we're professionals. We can't put it all on the trainer because if we win or lose, when we win, we take, the trainer takes all the credit. But when we lose, the fighter get blamed. So we don't want to talk about who's the best trainer and who's not the best trainer, because if that's the case when we get to talk about trainers, my dad and my uncle has never won trainer of the year, but every time we went out there, we got great results. So it's so many great trainers out there. Both guys right here, hell of a trainers. His trainer, hell of a trainer. We may not know him, but that doesn't mean he's not a great trainer. And my dad and my Uncle Roger is not the only great trainers out there. But this is not about trainers, this is about the fighters. And Sunday, I really think this is going to be a very explosive, entertaining fight. And I can't wait. I'm anticipating this fight. I know the undercard, we got a great undercard, but I can't wait for the main event. So, if you're tuning in right now, anywhere around the world, Sunday is our day.
Thank you, Floyd. Just to reiterate, it all goes down Sunday, December 5th. Showtime pay-per-view live from Staples Center. 8 o'clock p.m., that's Eastern Time. That's 5 o'clock Pacific Time here in Los Angeles. Gervonta Tank Davis taking on Isaac Cruz. His title on the line, unbeaten record on the line. You don't want to miss it. Tickets can be purchased at AXS.com. Again, AXS.com. Let's have our face-off.
Down here in the middle, guys.
Yep. In the middle.
Venga, Pitbull.
Vamos, México. Yep. Middle. Middle.
Everybody got his cover? Down here, one more.
Everybody got theirs?
Yeah, you got it? One more right here, Phil.
No, how many more we need?
No, right in the middle for you guys.
Okay, come on. Everybody should got it now. We've been up here for a while.
Cover.
We have the trainers, Esau and Mayweather doing some interviews. Tank Davis will be doing a satellite tour, and then he'll be available after his tour. Thanks for your patience.
You want to do it right there, or do you want to do it on the other side so that you're not back here? Yeah, switch it over there. Yeah, we're going to move it over there. Thanks, Barry. Yeah.
That's what they do when I sit down in the chair.
Y'all got so many cameras around, make me feel like I'm fine.
Floyd, why are you so confident in Gervonta and you put him in there with just about any type of style and threat? You know, you're very confident that he's going to come out on top.
It's really about him believing in himself. My job is to make the fights happen. His job is to go in and win. And that's what we've done thus far.
Moving forward, what do you think is the biggest opportunity for Tank? Now, obviously not overlooking past Isaac Cruz, because we just saw what happened this past Saturday, but what do you think is the biggest opportunity for Tank?
Well, we got different goals. The ultimate goal in the beginning was, you know, to become world champion. And we constantly want to, you know, beat different top guys, but we can't call any particular names out. We just want to, you know, fight the best, and he's never gonna get his credit that he's really due, because they're really just jealous of me. It's really not him. All he's doing is going out there, beating the guys just put in front of him. So, is it really that we don't like Tank or we don't like Floyd?
Floyd, is Isaac a better opponent than Rolly in your opinion?
I can't really say.
styles make fights. So we'll see how everything plays on Sunday. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very interesting fight Sunday. I just honestly believe this guy's one of the best lightweights also out there. He's no pushover. I had a chance to watch some clips, and normally I don't really watch, go watch any highlights, and I had a chance to see this guy. And I think he's the guy that everybody's really sleeping on. So, but it's gonna be kind of a good test for Tank, and everything should be, a great fight come Sunday. At least I think it's gonna be.
What did you see in Cruz that makes you think it's going to be a good test for Tank?
I just said it. I just said I watched the highlights. So I don't know if you're listening, but I said I watched the highlights.
No, what did you see in those highlights that makes you believe that?
Oh, I can't. I'm not that. I mean, he just
Can't tell you the secret.
I'm not going to tell you what he do good or what he don't do good. But at the end of the day, it's obvious I got the remedy because I was up there and I said I faced guys like this before in the beginning of my career.
Floyd, this could be fight of the year potentially on Sunday. I know it's December 5th, but it could steal the show.
We don't really want this to be fight of the year. But we don't want our guys to really take no damage, no punishment. We're not with it. The name of the game is to hit and not get hit. And we're talking to one of the guys that was the master at it. So I don't believe in my guys taking punishment, for everybody can go home and say, oh yeah, it was a great fight. When a boy's career's over, he can barely walk and talk. That's not cool.
Floyd, what makes you can still avoid punishment by executing like a boxing master class, though, right? Is that something that the three of you want to see from him eventually?
I haven't been to training camp, so I don't know what's going on. But these guys, I'm pretty sure, got them covered all around the board. They went out there and done what they had to do all throughout training camp, I'm pretty sure. And he's going to be ready to come Sunday.
Hey, Floyd, you faced numerous Mexicans. You've defeated every top Mexican fighter you've had.
We don't really want to just say because that seemed like that seemed a little racist, a little stereotype.
No.
I faced people from all walks of life and beat them all.
Right.
Say that. That's better. Not just Mexican.
No, I get you, but my question
I beat everybody.
My question is, what makes the Mexican fighter that tough fighter that you face? And that Tank.
Marcos Maidana was tough. He wasn't Mexican. Manny Pacquiao was a tough competitor. He wasn't Mexican. So it's not that. A lot of times us fighters can make things rough on ourselves. So, this was gonna if Tank is out there fighting, they give Tank some advice and he go out there and he's doing what they're telling him, but it's not working. As a fighter, he has to come back and tell them, yo, this is not working. Whereas a fighter just come back and a fighter don't say nothing. Whereas with me, I'm gonna come back and a lot of times I may not say nothing because I know my trainers got the microphones on. So when I come back, I don't say something a lot of times. I just go out there and do what I have to do with so much experience that I have, over the years.
Floyd, you've been around Tank for quite a number of years. Floyd, talk to us about the maturation process of Tank and how you've seen him grown over the years.
He still have a lot. He still has a lot of growing to do, and eventually he will see. Your mind frame is not the same. When you're 16, you get your license. When you're 18, you're able to buy, cigarettes and you're able to vote. And then you're 21, you're able to go to a nightclub, and you're able to buy liquor at 21. So as you get older, you look at things in a total different way. I feel like not just with age comes wisdom, but also with a lot of experience comes wisdom. So in due time, he'll see. Just about different things in life, different individuals.
Floyd and Leonard, I want to ask both of you in particular, talk to us about the Sunday boxing model. A lot of folks tend to like it. This is the second fight that we've seen on a Sunday. Talk to us about that. Whose idea was that?
I'm not going to sit right here and take the credit for that. That was a team effort, I would like to say. Leonard, as well as Al, and some other individuals, we talked about it because Super Bowl is on a Sunday. A lot of award shows is on a Sunday. The NBA All-Star is on a Sunday, so we say, you know what? Let's roll the dice and do something different. Let's go on a Sunday. A lot of people, a lot of people are at home. A lot of times on Saturday, a lot of people are nightclub because most people that work at 9 to 5 want to enjoy the Friday and the Saturday. But Sunday, everybody's at home. You can sit down, and enjoy the festivities and enjoy the main event.
Floyd. Talk about competing with the NFL on Sunday. You guys can compete with the Chiefs, I believe.
Once again, we don't got to say that. We're never competing with anybody. When you in your own zone, you don't got to compete with nobody. I'm never compete with nobody. I never try to compete with nobody. As far as who was the best in the sport of boxing, I just went out there and did what I did.
Floyd, with a lot of upsets going on in boxing, just being on top of the game of boxing, how do you stay motivated?
Well, you have to give me an example. When you say a lot of upsets, name a lot of upsets.
Teofimo Lopez and Kambosos was a big upset.
Name some more.
Anthony Joshua and Usyk.
That was not an upset.
Oh, it wasn't?
I mean, when you got two guys with so much experience, like I said before, you got guys with two. It's just that Anthony Joshua was on TV, and everybody seen him. Usyk was a hell of a fighter, a gold medalist, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but he was behind the scenes. Two guys with a crazy amateur backgrounds, and one guy is not being seen, and another guy is being seen. Then we call it an upset. No, it's just that he was working behind the scenes, and another guy was working in front of everybody. Then finally, they had to meet up, and then Anthony Joshua came up short. But Anthony Joshua, I told him from the beginning. I was one of the first guys to come on record from the beginning. I told him he can come, and I can teach him some pointers. Because a lot of times, this is just my take. The same coach you had as an amateur doesn't always make him a great professional coach, because some guys are great at amateur coaching and some guys are great at professional coaching. And even like my dad, I feel like my dad was the best as a professional because he was teaching me when I was an amateur, he was teaching me like a professional. So, like I said, I'm going to always speak the real, whether somebody like it or not. I just feel like Anthony Joshua, they keep going to different coaches. Oh, this coach gonna work with him. This coach gonna work with him. I told him in the beginning when he was undefeated, you got some things you still got to tweak, because if you don't, then you may come up short.
Floyd, speaking on the training situation, Teofimo Lopez just some people consider an upset. Kambosos beating him. Some people feel he might need a trainer change. His dad's been training him his entire career in his life. What do you make on speaking on the trainer subject in terms of that?
Well, I wish these young guys nothing but the best. These guys, sometimes these guys win a title, then it means the world to them. And you can't knock them. That's some fighters' goal. And, he was undisputed champion. Something that I never did. It's not like I couldn't have done it, but I didn't do it. And that was a hell of a goal in itself. So I'm not gonna sit right here and bash him or bash his dad. I wish him and his dad nothing but the best. Some people was telling me that he wanted to move up to 140. If that's the best for your fighter, then that's what you should do. But congratulations on being the former undisputed champion, because like I said before, now it's something that I did, nobody else has done also. I was I had the WBC and the WBA at welterweight, and I had the WBC and the WBA and the WBO at junior middleweight. So I'm the first fighter to hold 5 titles at one particular time. Now I don't know if nobody has done that. Now we got I think we got Canelo right now, got 4. 3? I don't know what the number. I think he got 4. And then he's going up to cruiserweight. He's fighting a guy that's really not the guy look up and down, but it is what it is. I mean, if it was up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez. That's just my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to speak my mind. That's just what it is. He's going up. He's going up to cruise, and I'm not knocking him, but he's going up to cruiserweight. And that same guy he used to be at the Mayweather boxing gym. The guys was really getting the best of him in the Mayweather boxing gym. So if he's going up to quote unquote cruiserweight, I mean, that's good. We got a lot. Benavidez can go and beat that same guy. He can beat that same guy at 168. So he's not doing nothing, like I said before. But when you are put in a certain position, he should be he's able to like me. When I was in the position, I can pick and choose who I want to, because I earned that right. But do I like this fight? Absolutely not. We want to see Benavidez. Let's make it happen.
Speaking of Canelo, he's showing a lot of support for Isaac Cruz. What do you think about that? Canelo's behind Isaac Cruz.
What I don't like is this, and I was going to talk to Tank about this. You can't be wearing Canelo gloves and he's rooting against you. I don't get it. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. And then it's not like, some gloves, we can wear 1,000 different gloves. The results, it's always going to be the same, but I can't wear your gloves and you root against me.
Floyd, we just recently saw Canelo win undisputed at 168. As the only person that's defeated him, what have you seen of yourself in Canelo as of the last couple of years after he fought you?
Same fighter. It's the same fighter. It's crazy that it was like Canelo in his prime. He'd have been a different fighter. When I fought him, he was in his prime. You go back and look at me. I was the best when I was in my 20s. When I fought Canelo, I was almost 40 years old. And a lot of times they're gonna keep asking me about the Canelo fight, and I already know when they write about it, they're gonna make it seem like, the headline, they're gonna make it seem extremely bad, seem like a beef. It seems like it's a beef. It's not a beef. I like Canelo. I like his work. But we're forgetting about Boost Ennis.
Drawn Ennis, yes.
Hell of a fighter. We don't talk about him. Errol Spence go through some ups and downs throughout life, tragedies, and he still get through it all. And then a guy go out and Terrence Crawford, he go out there and do what he's supposed to do. Of course, he looked good, but we forget about these guys. We don't talk about Tank go out there and do what he got to do, and we forget about these guys. And I'm not going to forget about my people, fighters that don't get their credit. I'm just going to stand behind my people through it all.
Floyd, you're talking about credit. You were talking to Mark Breland on a FaceTime recently, and it seemed that you guys were both giving each other credit on. I want to see if you can elaborate what that conversation.
Mark Breland?
Yes.
He's a trainer that really don't say too much. One of the best amateurs ever. And two-time world champion as a professional, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I'm a real student of the game, real student, and my dad always knew that I was going to be a hell of a fighter because I was a student that can learn all three ways, hearing, seeing, and doing. Mark Breland, hell of a trainer, a great guy. Remember, I was just up there talking about that, up there. When the fighters win, they get all the credit. Then when a fighter lose, the fighters say, it was the trainer fault.
Floyd,
it is what it is.
Floyd, 1 week from tonight, you're going to get named the Fighter of the Decade 2010s at the Boxing Writers Dinner in New York.
Which I really should be getting Fighter of the last 2 decades, and you know that.
I'll put in the word. But what does that mean to you? Obviously, you just talked about being remembered. You have been remembered as one of the greats of all time. When you take that award, what are you going to think of? What are you going to think of what you've accomplished in your career?
For the Fighter of the Decade, I'm the Fighter of the last century, honestly. And it's a reason why I'm the best fighter of the last 100 years. The credentials show it. And I went out there and showed it. What's better than going out there, being world champion for 20 years? Box office, I got the record. Pay-per-view, I got the record. I ain't want it. It's better to have 5 world titles than 4 at one particular time. So, it is what it is. They're gonna always have their opinion about me. I'm always be who I am. I'm always speak from the heart, and know that when I went out there, I gave it 100%. Whether I was 100% when I went in there, or not. I always gave it 100%.
Well, you just got done talking about it. A lot of these guys, including yourself, had to scratch and claw for that recognition. The fact that you finally got it at the highest level, do you take a big measure of satisfaction with that?
The best thing about my career was the bronze medal. Best thing.
Because?
Made me work hard. I know I won, but I didn't want to leave no doubt. And you see, all throughout my career, they've been trying to cut my throat. I fight Canelo, what they call it, a majority decision. I fight Canelo. Some judge had it a draw. I fight Oscar. Somebody had it a split. Come on, man. It's not good for the sport of boxing. And we talked about this. The scoring. Scoring in boxing is getting worse. I don't like it. And I went to the WBC convention because whether I want to or not, you guys may say this, but I'm still a face of boxing. And I'm going to go up, I went there to speak up for all fighters. I didn't go just to speak for black fighters. I went there to speak for all fighters and have all fighters back and say, these guys need to be treated fairly.
Floyd, how important is it for you to stick up for fighters of all races? You seem to really frame that a lot in your conversation, that it's not just about a black or a white or a Mexican. You seem to care about boxing as a whole. Talk to us about that.
I mean, of course, because I have fighters from all walks of life. And you know what's so crazy that I laugh at every day? When sometimes they write these stories, they say, Mayweather Promotions, only fighter they got is Tank. If y'all think that, if y'all believe that, y'all can believe whatever y'all want to believe. Meaning that a fighter can't say, I'm doing business with Al Haney, but I'm not doing business with Floyd Mayweather. Or I'm doing business with Floyd Mayweather, and I'm not doing business with Al Haney. That PBC could be Pretty Boys champion. But we don't always want to tell you.
Why did you sign Gervonta Davis in the first place? What did you see in him, and how did you know back then that he would be where he is today?
He talked about this. He talked about the Adrian Broner story. Actually, when he came to the gym, and it was the day before Adrian Broner was fighting Sean Porter. Right after the weigh-in, we went over to the gym because he wanted to see Tank box Devin Haney. You know, Devin Haney was in good shape. Tank wasn't in good shape, but they worked. And it was some crazy work. And just with him and Devin working, it was crazy, entertaining work at that particular time. So I said, you know what? I like this kid. So I said, yo, I had somebody reach out. I think I had my assistant reach out to him on social media. And I think we met in New York. After that, I think the next day he was on a yacht with me in Miami. You know how I move around. So we made it happen.
Then Dubai.
Dubai, and then I think we was in Egypt. We could have been in Egypt. So we was in Egypt, we was in Dubai, but you know, I was already doing these worldwide trips a long time ago. I wanted to introduce him to it, letting him know the world is bigger than just the USA. The world is bigger than just being in Baltimore. Baltimore is a great place, so many beautiful, great people, but you gotta go and let the world touch you. Get a chance to touch the surface all around the world.
It's hard to be famous. It's hard to sell pay-per-views. You've obviously done both. Tank is doing it. What's the secret?
He can do crazy numbers. It's going to be hard to break my record because you have so many people stealing. You know, so many people stealing.
Streaming.
Yeah, streaming. Well, it's still stealing. Because if they're not paying for it and they're getting it free, it's stealing. Let me see. Far as pay-per-view, I think I got the four top for pay-per-view. You know, I still got a sharp mind. I mean, I think it was saying that Floyd Mayweather is he's losing his memory. I think I was when I was in Mexico. There was some little fighter they was talking about. Who was he?
Cepeda? Was he top ranked?
As a fighter talking about he sparred with me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Cepeda. Yeah.
Okay, well, my thing is this. I'm proud of him, you know, for his victory. But if you done something spectacular when you sparred me, I'm going to remember you. Now, I'm human. And one thing that we we can't play with is memory loss. My grandmother died from it. My Uncle Roger died from it. My daddy's going through it. So I'm only human. So can I have a little memory loss? It's possible. But guess what? One thing I did do, I built generational wealth for my children and my family. So if I am going through that, they're going to make sure that I'm okay.
Right.
And Muhammad Ali went through it. So we go through those type of things, you know. I've been hit with some big shots throughout my career. Not many as others, but it comes with the territory. And it's not like this guy came to the gym, was in training camp. I think I boxed this guy one time and didn't know I boxed him. I called so many fighters, you know, when I'm in it. I done worked with so many fighters throughout my life. I mean, that's just what it is, but I'm not gonna remember a little guy, I don't even know, 140, 140 pounder that came and boxed me at 1 or 2 in the morning that I boxed 4 or 5. I'm not gonna remember him.
Floyd, would you really fight Julio Cesar Chavez in the exhibition? It's a big bag.
Well, you know, they asked me about that before. I take my hat off to Julio Cesar Chavez, a legendary champion. We seen what happened with him and Pernell with him. You know, like I said before, with this scoring system, this been going on since a long time ago.
But Floyd,
you know, if I'm not mistaken, one of my easiest victories, that was Oscar. That was easy. He fought Oscar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if he felt he fought Oscar, how old was he? How old was he?
He was like 37. 30.
No, he wasn't 37 when he fought Oscar. He was a little bit younger.
34.
Well, do your homework. Look it up. I need y'all to look it up right now. Tell me what was his age, and tell me what was my age when I fought Canelo. And then they said, they talk about these fighters. All these fighters gonna end up beating more world champions than Floyd Mayweather. You guys had 100 and some fights, 200 and some fights, 70, 80 fights. I'll still beat more world champions than all y'all. Eventually, y'all will beat more world champions if y'all keep giving these guys these cupcakes. You know, y'all got this guy fighting that cruiserweight, even though, I mean, I want to see the cruiserweight guy.
I got the age. It's 36, and Oscar was 25.
And so how old was I when I fought Canelo? I think about 36, right?
36. He was 23.
Yeah.
So you see the difference.
Yeah.
So you see the difference.
By the way, how did it feel to have Sugar Ray Leonard, Duran, Chavez Sr. all cheer for you in Mexico when you got the gold belt? That was an epic moment.
Well, I'm a legend too. Me a legend too. You know, legend, real gonna respect real, no matter how much they may trash talk. You know, they did it in their era. I did it in my era. And Sugar Ray Leonard to come on record and tell you this. I told you, I'm here. I'm one of the smartest. See, I work smarter, not harder, and I always talk about this. And we're going to continue to help these fighters grow and be the best that they can be. And what I'm not going to do is never let the media make us go against each other. We got to ride together, continue to work with each other, and push our fighters to be great. And that's what I will do as long as I'm here.
Floyd, is there an opportunity that we can get you to work?
Isaac Cruz is a Pacquiao fighter. Pacquiao's still in the mix.
I was going to let him finish.
Okay, we're going to work together. Where we at?
Isaac Cruz, Mexican, but he's from Pacquiao Promotions. What do you think of that, Floyd?
I think Pacquiao, he chose a hell of a fighter. Shit, we got so many fighters at PBC. I thought he was with PBC, but he's not. I see you over here with Sean, but I mean, we'll just see. Me and Pacquiao actually, then we're gonna play basketball in the Philippines. That's coming up soon. So
when is that?
I think January. So we're gonna play a little bit of basketball. Y'all already know what I got. So you know.
You taking the team out there, or you playing just one-on-one? What's out there?
I got a big enough jet to take a team out there. We're taking some guys out there. I think the rules is we got some former NBA players, a couple and one player. So it's gonna be interesting.
He's
running for president right now.
I was good, yeah.
He could be bringing this over here to help him win.
Hopefully.
It's possible.
Would you campaign for him? Do you co-sign his presidency, Floyd?
Absolutely. Yeah, even though they made us, it's really the media. Like the media can always paint a picture the way they want to paint a picture. You know, it's so crazy that I'm so proud of Tank as a fighter. I love him. I love his team. I want the best for him. But it's so crazy how y'all media always shit on him, talk bad about him, and it's so bad that they do this just because of me. Because of me. And I honestly feel like that's fucked up. Just that they do this to this kid. He go out there, he fight, he win, he do it in impressive fashion. You got guys like Oscar, and I'm gonna always set an example. He said, well, Floyd, you trash talk a lot. You was cocky, and you supposed to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, who the fuck gonna believe in you? And I went out there day in and day out and proved that I was the best. And it's fucked up that they don't got Tank as one of the top guys, pound for pound. Now, you look, and then they can rate Canelo up there, and I just feel like Canelo is one of the guys. He's one of the top guys up there, but he's not the only guy. This is not cool. Even though Spence went through what he went through, and Crawford, because Crawford and Spence haven't fought one another, doesn't mean these guys should be rated up there. Every time they went out there, they done what they had to do. There's so many young fighters that's up and coming that we don't talk about. And I'll come on record and say, these guys, that kid Ennis, boo, don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on him. I tell these fighters, don't. Hell of a fighter. And even Benavidez should be ranked in the top pound for pound. You know? But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. They don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. And he was what he could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
Do you think he was clean the night he fought you?
I'm saying I don't know. I don't know. That's y'all. This Canelo. Come on, man. That kid was a cakewalk. Kid, easy.
You named 5 fighters right there. What's your pound for pound list?
I mean, I ain't gotta rate these guys pound for pound. I ain't gotta rate. I don't got to rate. I'm just tired that a lot of times people send me these stories about what the media write about. And I mean, yeah, do racism go on within the sport of boxing? Absolutely.
Floyd, is there a chance
elaborate on that, Floyd? No, I don't want to elaborate on that because y'all have me out here and making shit look bad for me. Y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all make it look bad for me because y'all don't make it look bad for me because I write my own checks. So I say what I want to say. I always speak from the heart.
Floyd, with Crawford leaving Top Rank, is there a possibility that you will work with Crawford and potential future fights?
I've been telling for the longest. Not like I've been trying to take him away from Top Rank. If you just look, I'm saying just look at this. Love Terrence Crawford. Right after the fight, I called him to congratulate him. And y'all look at Tank. They're like, look what I was able to do with him. I didn't do it by myself. Look what we were able to do together, I should say. You know what I'm saying? With them, with the help of them and his team, we worked together. So I think the Staples Center, is 18,000? So even if we do 15,000, that's some hell of a numbers. And Tank is a huge name in the sport of boxing. And it wasn't all from me. I was able to help position him, me, Al, Leonard, all of us together. his team that works with him on a daily basis, we work together. We had a game plan. You always gotta have a game plan. And then a lot of times, the media, y'all be like, well, what's the game plan? When he go out there, what's the game plan? I'm gonna tell y'all the fucking game plan. So the kid, so what, an opponent can go home and say, oh, that's the game plan, well, I'm gonna do something different. So what I used to do is always give y'all a bullshit game plan. Tell y'all what I want to tell y'all. We're never gonna tell y'all the game plan. The game plan is to tune in.
Yeah. Floyd, one of the big things when I was growing up watching is that you took B side to get to the A side, and it seems a lot of fighters
No, don't do that.
Well, I'll let you finish.
Don't do that. Technically, they may put a fighter on the A side.
Right.
You always know I was the A side for real.
Of course. But you played the politics and allowed.
And just like, you know, throughout, I know eventually we're gonna do a huge documentary about my career, about my life, and I'm gonna go through all the ups and downs of my career, you know, and what happened, you know, throughout my career. You know, the ups and downs, but what happened throughout my career.
I just remember the Turo Gotti fight specifically.
Yeah, that's one that racism plays a major role.
And
absolutely.
And you took the steps and you know to get to the position, and a lot of fighters may not do what you did. Do you feel that's the case?
Yeah, money got taken away from me for that fight. Yeah, a lot of things happened, but I don't care. I'm the best. You can't stop me. You know, what's meant to be is meant to be.
Did that play a part?
Remember, all these fighters when they faced me, they was talented. I'm God gifted. That's the difference.
Did that play a part in you taking Arturo Gotti apart the way that you did? Did you come in a little angry or touched?
Never angry. Always keep your composure. Always keep your cool. I was on a mission. And when I'm on a mission, I mean, you could feel like you're the best, but when you face me tonight, you're gonna come up short.
What's the key to growing Gervonta's career from this point forward? I mean, he's got these multiple pay-per-views in a row. Maybe he's not the talker that you were, but the talent is so supreme that it seems like there's incredible upside.
We can work on that. We can work on that. A lot of fighters, may not be able to give it to you the way Floyd Mayweather or Ali gave it to you. But he's so much talent, so much excitement. Don't worry, I'll be his voice. I'll talk the shit. He just go out there, and when I talk the shit, he got to cover it. And we're talking about the betting. The betting. I'm just gonna say one thing about his opponent. He don't got no jab. Just I'm gonna let y'all know.
Floyd, what are you throwing us off? Or are you throwing us off like you said? Like, or are you giving this, you know?
If you throw all hooks, I gotta make you throw a jab.
What do you miss the most from fighting? Is the preparation? Is it fight night?
No, I don't miss nothing about fighting. You know, I was just at my high rise across the street, and then I got a call. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, y'all never told me where the press conference was. I never got the schedule throughout the whole week. They never give me the schedule. So if I'm late, please forgive me. They never gave me the fight schedule, so I had to hurry up and rush over here. But what you said, what I miss about the fight game? Nothing. Nothing. You know, if I want to go pick up, it's not that, as far as if I want to go pick up some backpack money, if I want to go pick up 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, 100, I can go do an exhibition. It's not even on my record. You know, a lot of times people talking about, oh, that Jake Paul. Man, listen, it wasn't a real fight. All I was doing just every once in a while go to the gym, sit-ups, hit the heavy bag, then go home. I'm like, this kid is, but you know, after the fight, I said, I give him more credit. I take my hat off to him because I said, you know, with his background in wrestling, this is what I meant. His background in wrestling was unbelievable because the whole night, all he did was wrestle. And so I said, you know, they said he was a top-level wrestler. I said, I can tell.
Floyd, take me back to teenage Floyd, being in a hotel, boxing Frankie Randall, eating Doritos, and just kind of listening to the radio and being focused. Take me back to those days. How hungry were you?
You just said I was eating Doritos, so I probably went hungry. this is exactly what happened. If I tell you that, if I give y'all a whole breakdown on the story, then you guys don't need to watch my documentary. Because I don't know if it's gonna be on Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and I'm giving y'all shots out these different places. You gotta give me that check. But Frankie Randall, may rest in peace, great guy. I was able to stay at his house. I'm a little different from, you know, the young fighters now. I mean, young fighters want to, you know, everything is the internet. My thing, you know, I had a fan base before the internet. I mean, before social media. I don't want to say before the internet, but before social media. And my focus really was just to fight everybody. That's what I wanted to do. I'm saying, as an amateur, I fought everybody. Every country you could name. Oh, I think I wanted to fight. One of my goals was to fight Cuba. And what better place to fight Cuba at than the Olympics?
And you beat a Cuban.
And that was my gold medal to me. Because Cuba got so much unbelievable talent and so many unbelievable fighters. And all throughout the amateur ranks, you know, all throughout while I was fighting as amateur, they're like, Cuba. They're the best fighters. I watch them, I'm like, yeah, they good, but they're not better than Floyd Mayweather, but they some good fighters. And then I had a chance to, you know, to face the Cuban, I think, in the quarter.
It was like the third round, right?
The quarterfinals.
Right.
And
beat him by 1 point. What they said. That's what they said.
I've been getting treated unfair my whole life. I had to fight for everything that I wanted.
How do you think that uneven treatment made you so hard? Did that make you hard? Did that tighten up your shell?
No, it really made me say, no, I don't really give a fuck. Like fuck everybody. They're not gonna really, they don't care about you no way. When you fighting and you're fighting, you winning, they loving you, they like you, and then as soon as they got, it don't have to be a loss. As far as taking a loss, not having your hand raised, you could take a loss as far as like when Tank, he didn't make the weight. Oh, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. So that comes with boxing. That comes with the territory. Who's gonna? Tank.
Tank, Floyd was mentioning he signed you after watching you face Devin Haney in a sparring session. When that
y'all got it in. Tell him you wasn't in there.
when that sparring session happened, did you feel you were almost auditioning for Floyd at that point, or did you realize that might catapult you to where you're at now?
I think that, you know, it was make the best of my opportunity. I felt though that, you know, a lot of people were there that night, and that was my first time in the middle of the jump, so I had to give it my all, what I had.
It was getting it in.
What was it?
And I had to respect him because he wasn't in no shape. He had a little gut. He ain't got no gut now. But at that particular time, it was getting it in. It was good work.
There was 1,000 people in there. You were sweating just standing there.
A few probably was in there.
Yeah, I was.
It was getting it in. So, just them, you know, two young competitors putting on the show. You know, we had the gym on 100 degrees. That's what we do. You know, and you just done an interview, and they talk about the gym being hot. Yeah, so.
How have you seen Tank grow since then?
Shit, bigger, better, stronger, faster. Yeah, so he's grown drastically. I mean, I feel like the punching power he got punching power at every weight. You know, I feel like, you know, just like myself, I was able to have that punching power at 130, then had the punch at 135, and then 140, and then at 47, you know, the body started breaking down. Like anything, the body started breaking down. But I still had all my faculties to still find a way to win and beat these guys.
When you talk about the body breaking down, Floyd, what were you experiencing? Was it just waking up in the morning and
No, I'm
having
not going
extreme
to tell you all
soreness?
that. We're not going to talk about that. I already told you we're going to talk about that in a documentary. We didn't talk about him.
Tank, what did you think about what Isaac was saying today? Like, you're number one, but he sees flaws, or he's going to do this and do that.
I feel as though he's a fighter, so he definitely supposed to have that mindset. Once again, I'm not too far from, saying that underdog. So I feel as though, he had an opportunity. Myself, I have an opportunity. I try to make the best of it. So he's trying to make the best of it. So let's see come Sunday.
He's getting a lot of support from Canelo heading into this fight. What do you think? You wore Canelo's gloves, I think. You like Canelo. What do you think of Canelo kind of supporting him and heading into this fight?
I mean, they came from Mexico, so I don't know we're supposed to support somebody from this country.
Gervonta, I know it might be a little awkward given that he's sitting right next to you, but can you talk a little bit about your relationship with Calvin? Maybe how it's evolved over the years and the trust that you have in him at this point.
Calvin always been the male figure in my life that, I always see. I think a lot of young kids that's coming up down the time, I was coming up needed that father figure, you know what I mean? So I really wasn't getting it at home. My father was at home, so my next step was Calvin was that I feel as though both of us were on that same mission, so we locked in. Before Calvin, it was his son. His son betrayed me, and I had a tight bond with his son. His son was God, so I think I got that energy from his son, and then it carried me from his son to the father. That's what
We spoke before, he and I spoke earlier, and he was kind of telling me a lot about, the tragedies of some of the guys that used to work out at your gym and stuff. Just kind of wondering, just kind of seeing those things, experiencing those things, how did that kind of shape you into being the person you are now?
I mean, just, I was big on, I was younger than them guys, so it was like just learning from their mistakes. I know what to do and not to do. And I was traveling when I was 10, so I seen bigger things than boxing. So my mindset was more different from everybody else. Everybody else was like, remain in the streets, but I was so focused on getting out there, in the streets. I focused on the boxing. That was my escape. I kept that path and I stayed close to my coaches. We had that.
Given how long you guys have been together, what's like your communication like now? I assume that even, in a full arena, everybody's going nuts. His voice is kind of the one maybe that you hear than others.
I mean, I wouldn't just say Calvin, but everybody on this stage, I make sure I take, I make sure I listen to them, no matter what's going on. I don't really, when I'm in there, I really don't hear other people besides the people that you see close to me. So I'm definitely looking for that. I'll be looking for that voice, and with me, just they walk in that path with me. So I always count on one day.
What do you think your success has meant to kids that are maybe kind of walking the same road that you are right now, that are coming from like the same neighborhood and stuff, and trying to make it in the gym?
I think they could use me. Anybody on this stage, I feel that, because I learn from every person on this stage. Before me, I learned that stay focused and just be who you be, and make sure you have somebody that you can count on. If you feel as though you can count on, believe in that person. I feel as though nobody that before you will direct you in the wrong direction. So I feel as though you got that person that's willing to help you and seek that help.
Gervonta, with Floyd being your promoter, he feels that some of the criticism you're getting is piggybacked off him, which is the negative criticisms he received throughout his career, being undefeated, never being beaten. Do you feel that that's kind of the uphill battle you're facing, that you take up some of the criticism that's like a reciprocal thing off Floyd?
Yeah, I feel as though they couldn't beat him, so they forced their way on me. So that's exactly what I feel. But I know that, I had the best team in boxing, so I don't let that really get to me. Sometimes I get frustrated, but it's always like these guys next to me that, keep me, focused.
What's it mean? I mean, I think you do have the best team in boxing. What's that mean to you to have that depth of wisdom and talent around you to call upon no matter what situation is going on in your career, in your life, in anything?
Where I come from, it's like not my age group, but like people like Calvin, Floyd, and Barry, they had that OG. You know what I mean? My generation, they really didn't really look up to OGs, but I feel as though I was blessed to have people that, just been through a lot. Everybody on the stage been through different stuff. You know what I mean? So I feel as though I'm blessed to have that. These guys that's walking that path with me. So I definitely want to thank each and one of these guys. That, even when I'm, sometimes I don't listen. I mean, I'm my own man, so I wouldn't make my own mistakes. It is what it is. I definitely appreciate it.
Tank, every day I wake up, somebody else calls you out. It doesn't matter their weight class. They could be super middleweight, 135, 140. Sometimes you respond, sometimes you don't. But do you see all that?
That's what it is.
Why? Why are they calling you out?
Floyd, in the All Access, they threw a little shade at Tank about his basketball games. He wasn't making a lot of shots, but they did. Yeah, they said that just that day he happened not to be making a lot.
No,
They was
throwing shade.
a little bit.
He's missing a couple buckets.
Right. Tank said it was a bad day. Did you have you played with Tank, and is he going to be on the Manny Pacquiao team that you take to face against Manny Pacquiao?
Go over there and play on my team.
Tank, you're on a long string of KOs right now. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tank, you're on a long streak of KOs right now. Talk to me about the anatomy of throwing that knockout shot. Are you throwing these punches unconsciously? It seems like lightning bolts just coming out of nowhere sometimes. Where do these shots come from?
Cup in your hands, don't you?
I don't know, just, I've been doing it for so long, it's second nature. I don't think I've been trying to throw with bad intention every time. It just come off like that.
Do you have a favorite knockout you have achieved so far?
Leo.
Which one is it, Leo?
Why is that?
Why is that? That was nice.
Is that the destiny for Cruz on Sunday night?
We're not going to tell you that. Hold up. I told you we're not going to tell you the game plan. We're not going to do that.
Gervonta, were you surprised that Teofimo Lopez lost in North Carolina? You weren't surprised? How come?
That shit come with the territory. It's the fight game. You win some, you lose some.
You didn't.
Shit, I lost some worse than that. I lost my children's mother. So shit, we like I just said before, you don't always got to not. You can have a loss, but it don't always have to be in the ring. So we have losses through our life. So, like I said before, you go through ups and downs in life. You win some, you lose some. But we live and we keep fighting just through our life.
Speaking of inside and out the ring, Leonard, you mentioned earlier while you were up there talking about Tank is that Tank seems to be getting it together, both inside the ring and outside the ring. Can you elaborate a little bit on that for us, sir?
Well, did you guys get a chance to see the podcast that he did? This is the first in-depth interview that he's given where the fans got a chance to see a different side of him. I mean, if you just go and you look at how many views that interview has gotten. These are the kind of things we think outside of the box to cross them over because. There's no shade against you guys, but you guys kind of just ask the same old routine, ordinary questions. And it was a chance to...
Hold on. Shit, ain't too many questions they can ask. Shit, they ain't never fought before.
Yeah.
So most time motherfuckers doing an interview, these boxers, so-called, like they got all the guys that's commentating for the fights. I'm like, yo. Now, Timothy Bradley do a good job, and Andre Ward, both of those guys do a good job, but a lot of people, and I appreciate you guys covering boxing, But a lot of times guys only can ask the questions that they ask because they don't really know nothing about boxing for real. I'm gonna say like Roger Mayweather, they really don't know shit about boxing.
But it was a good opportunity to
Thanks for bringing him up.
to see a different side of him, and in my personal opinion, I think it was the best interview he's ever done that I personally witnessed. The interview you did on that podcast, it's fire. It's fire.
Things that he
Really, really good.
Are you finding more comfort in doing that and opening up and really, like the things you just said here?
I mean, I'm just overall with the sport, I'm getting more comfortable with it. Overall, the first one was hit off the top.
I like that photo where you're in front, where you're on the block, and then you're standing in front of the Phantom, like a few years later or whatever. The photo where you're on the block, and then a few years later you got the Phantom. You're standing in the middle with the Phantom.
It was just a little motivation.
That's dope. I like the photo.
Yeah.
Tank and Floyd.
That interview has got already almost 1 million views already.
Wow. Any thoughts on Devin Haney versus Jojo Diaz coming up on Saturday night?
Wish them both nothing but the best. You know, Devin had a chance to work in our gym ever since he's been a small kid. Jojo Diaz, I think he beat a guy they didn't expect him to beat. So it should be a good matchup. But our focus is Sunday. I need everybody to tune in Sunday. I mean, like I always say, it's all about blood, sweat, and tears. We put in a lot of work, and I'm pretty sure this guy's looking to upset Tank. He's gonna come and bring his all. So we'll just see how everything plays out. But everybody that's watching right now, I'm telling you, tune in. It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
Thank you.
I'm good.
Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you, Floyd. Appreciate you.
Did you win, Kelly? No. Did you have a jelly bean? Did you get a jelly bean? I hope it was a good one. Oh, did you get a jelly bean? No. Oh, okay. I was gonna say they could be nasty, so be careful. Yeah, maybe back home. They're dangerous. All right, guys, that's it. Appreciate you watching. Catch you at the next one.